and really go in and support them and say, like, you know, if you do this, you're going to be the best version of yourself, and that's what they need to be. And look at this. We got a crowd going over here in Katowice, and let's see where this one will go. It is B4 taking on HSG.
B4 will be starting on the T side. Poppins is going to have the grenades for the squad, as well as the smoke grenade in the hands of Goddess. Let's see what they're able to do with them. So young, you know, she mentioned her last experience at LAN and how she was nervous. That experience is before now. This isn't new anymore. It's behind her. Julih and Nani going to go in with Yungher's flash and get the first 2 entries, and a very fast bomb plant for B4. So things are going very well so far. I can see Poppins lurking, looking for her first frag as well. Showing some presence and disengaging. That'll slow down a push. They've got to go and find that xiaowu, wondering where has Poppins gone. Great work to stay alive there and just slow them down as they approach. No defuse kit on these 3 players. That bomb is ticking. Nani is here, as well as Julih. No frags for HSG in that pistol before start, as they mean to go on.
Yeah, I'm wondering if perhaps we get to see a replay, but if not, yeah, it's curious to see, you know, what happened over towards the B side, because within just a couple of seconds, they were already up, and it was Julih with 2 opening frags so very fast, taking care of the defense that was present. With that, you know, it's going to be taking a very big effort coming out of HSG to even try and get onto the site and have a potential for a retake, especially with no kit being present. So on the back of that, HSG are going to be slowing it down, actually stacking up here over towards that A-bomb site, hoping that a gamble with then the bare USPs could be paying off. And perhaps it might. Bomb is still dropped, and they're still wondering of where to go to, and B4 just scattered across the map.
You can see B4 have prioritized the rifles here. No scout with a MAC-10. Moving together though. 2 teams heading towards a split of the B bomb site. xiaowu's bought a defuse kit, which is interesting. I feel like we don't see enough defuse kits on an eco round from teams in general. I always like the added spice to such a round with the threat of a defuse kit, maybe trying to hide in plain sight somewhere. You know, an Inferno's an obvious one. See if people are sloppy, don't check ruins, etc. But Vertigo might be a tall order to find the defuse, so we'll see what xiaowu chooses to do with it. Hazel's found herself a Galil. So that is something you certainly want to save. As we can see, this is more or less a clean eco from HSG, waiting for the next round to buy.
GFI also invested into Deagle, so having that for the next round and making sure you're not going to be having any struggles with cash later on might be the best option. And having that Galil, as you said, with the armor penetration, it's looking like probably one of the better scenarios here for them to come out with. Having that extra kit as well. And with that, here in the coming round, HSG should be going all in. Coming in full force against B4, which will be having somewhat of a bonus round. Only dropped 1 player. That will be actually 2 times an upgrade here. So let's see what the plan is going to be now that HSG, they have the full squad up aligned.
Now the game really begins. Very important position that xiaowu is holding. Some teams will send the player there at the beginning based on spawn because it's such a priority to hold on to the ramp. 2 smokes left for B4. A fair amount of mollies and such. So we'll keep an eye on that and see if they're challenged in this mid position. 3 people here this time. Hazel's jiggling. She may be forced to disengage. Smoke in the middle. Lots of detail in this. You can see GFI understands what might be happening, trying to make things harder with a molly of her own and catching Goddess at the very least, but the split is still on and the bomb site's more or less taken at this point. Yungher with 2, moving through mid, and GFI's dropped as well. We've got some early problems on Vertigo for HSG. 4 kills from Yungher in that second round, just wiping out the forces as they wait for the retake.
Yeah, the utility honestly was what made a difference here in this round. They had mid smoked off, so that made it very difficult for xiaowu, and then an additional Molotov kept GFI at bay as well. So it was pretty much free real estate over towards that B bomb site, and on the back of that, even when they noticed some sort of presence, they were able to shut it down with ease. So on the back of that round, we still see some smiles on the faces of HSG, so they're not too worried yet. Obviously, it is just the beginning.
You can see she's thinking about those previous rounds, and I think she's just processing the behaviors of her opponent there. We saw she threw the incendiary to try and stop the rat, but it was a bit too late. They were a bit too close. So I think she's just playing the round through in her head to see what they can do differently before go for such a round like that once again. More dangerous pistols on this occasion for HSG. Some Kevlar here and there. See Hffo looking for an aggro spot on the ramp. That has been secured. Argent up close. Very patient with the 5-7. Bob's on the floor as well. That's great work from Argent. Made that look easy. Quite a stressful situation. Poppins with the rifle is going to get traded. Now we're in a very interesting scenario. xiaowu could find a rifle, but she can't find it for long enough. That one escalated real quick, but keeping xiaowu off the rifle towards the end will be important. We know how much clutch xiaowu has with the rifle.
Still got real close on the back of these first two kills. If only another player would have been closing and actually been able to trade her, who knows what could have happened. And definitely shows, you know, those upgraded pistols definitely are worth it in a pistol like that or an eco. But unfortunately, the round still went the way to B4. And that means that the pressure right now is on HSG for now. They need a round up on the board, especially Vertigo being a bit more CT-sided. So you want to get yourself rolling, get yourself with the momentum back on the board. Or if not, it's going to be looking real scary early on.
I like the pop flash we saw into mid from HSG early. Not sure how much Hffo has seen. See GFI trying to get aggressive. Maybe expecting B4 not to expect a push like that after Argent gets the early frag. There's still a lot of incendiaries here for HSG, which I'm sure they're trying to hold on to for a bomb site push. If before are going to try and get a smoke plant, something like that, then that could certainly help. Well, at least one spotted towards the ramp, but what of the other three? As we can see, they are heading towards that B bomb site once again. Argent playing very tight angles indeed. If they do commit to this and she can delay, then those incendiaries could prove very problematic for before.
Well, that's a first. That's a bomb dropped. It is being repicked up, but not before it gets dropped again. And look at the amount of delay. And maybe she can just single-handedly keep them at bay. It's only yungher left, and with 20 seconds, it's going to be deemed a very difficult task to commit to. And with that, a 4K coming out of Argent, and the B anchor comes alive.
That's the whole ace as well. She got the early frag early on in the round, just shut down the B bomb site. Had a good support flash from her teammate while she was dueling there as well. That burst fire on the third kill, the second one in this series here, this little burst. Beautiful. Completely blind as well, but she already had her lineup. And still managing to get another frag as the flashes continue to come in. Shutting down the sniper. That's a nice little highlight for Argent. Maybe before we'll think twice about going into that bomb site once again. Huge round for HSG. Individual performance to get their first round on the board. There'll be another buy from B4. They'll be good on util. One Galil for the squad. This is their timeout, which is about to expire. So lots of things to process here. Maybe refocus the team, make sure they can try and trade tight together, although that was pretty hard. There were flashes coming in from all corners on that bomb site. Everybody was blind. Only so much you can do about that. But they still got a 3-round lead. Goddess still looking for her first frag. Same is true of Hffo. Got 7 frags for Argent now after that ace in the last round.
And the important thing is to find yourself a conversion. Ooh, look at this, a change of pace. Argent going aggressive. Didn't quite manage to get that second kill up on the board. There was a trade happening, but at least yungher has been tagged very low. But she, of course, still has that op in her hands, and that means the pressure is still on. They're looking even to creep perhaps into that A side. HFFO definitely notices the positionings, and Hazel on the back of that. She get a relatively easy kill before falling back a little bit.
Yeah, you can see them quietly trying to reduce the risk now by disengaging somewhat. Don't give them any easy kill. Again, holding on to the incendiaries. And they've got one smoke grenade as well. xiaowu looks to deploy. HFFO caught in no woman's land. Just in the middle of the open there. Obviously, the smoke's being lined up, so no one's covering the ramp. And that's given B4 an opening onto this bomb site. 3v3, and again, the incendiaries will be important just to try and delay that bomb plant. 47 seconds left, though. There is some time for them. Poppins has spotted xiaowu. Showing her power now as Hazel finds herself alone versus the three of before, creeping forward. I don't know where she is just yet. Goddess, though, won't let her last very long. Big headshot, and B4 are back on the scoreboard.
Yeah, in the mid-round, they actually did a really good job of trying to fall back at the right time, but then because of it, lacking information as to how far B4 were already committed, if they were even going to be committing to A at all. So with that, got overwhelmed, and the side fell apart. Now, they are still committing to this round. They have still M4s all across the board, with the exception then of Hazel up on a deagle, but still plenty for HSG to continue to contest. Now that smoke made it very difficult. Yungher missing the first initial chance to actually strike, but they have at least some information that there is presence towards the A ramp.
B4 might need to... I mean, you can try and bait some grenades, but they might just hop up on the sandbags here and try and get an entry as well. Does prove to be a devastating position for a T side when the CTs are trying to play aggressively and fight for position as well. And indeed, HFFO can see... sorry, Nani can see the shadow of HFFO, and she's repositioned, but it's too late now. They know she's there. One next to they swing. You can see them trying to poke, but it's very hard to come out of the smoke and win the duel. They have to deal with that position before they can press on, really. Goddess will finally finish off the job there, so that removes the vision. 40 seconds on the clock for B4 in the 5-on-4.
Look at this. B4 decided to move away from the A ramp. They've taken out one player, and it caused a rotation to come out through. Goddess is then here as a lurker to still maintain the pressure. They might even still think they're going to be committing an Argent. Well, perhaps she single-handedly could do it again. It's two, almost the third kill, but now Hazel with the deagle in her hand, making it tricky along with GFI. And the pressure is only 10 seconds. That's the first. Now she is turning around, looking the right way, and she gets the second. Clutch coming through from HSG, and they keep themselves in the round.
And she's keeping her team focused immediately with some feedback. Argent and GFI making great use of the M4A4, and Argent certainly needs all the bullets she can get on this B bomb site, constantly having to multi-frag. I think every situation she has at least 2+ players heading her way. HSG struggling for rounds at the moment, and their economy is hanging on by a string at present as well. They need to get some consecutive rounds together. Now we can see that there's big damage for B4, but they're moving really quick as well. This is a very dangerous round. Hazel's not ready for it at all. Taken by surprise in that mid position. Maybe HSG were going for a play elsewhere. Now the Mac 10s and Tech 9s are overwhelming the site. This is a disaster for HSG. A great response from B4. Picked the right position in terms of the mid play. HSG up to something else somewhere else, and that's absolutely decimated everything they've had.
Yeah, you were already saying, you know, with the economy being not in the best spot of all, HSG soon are going to be struggling again, only winning the rounds in isolation. And that means that they're not necessarily going to be going back to square one, especially if they can hang on to these two rivals. At least Argent managed to still hold tight to that FAMAS. But you can see they're getting a little paranoid. They might be going for a hunt. But I doubt, apart from that Mac 10, they really want to be going for it. The money is still on the lower end for B4 as well. At least they will take Nani out, so that means on 2 of the players and reinvestment needs to come out. But yeah, that seems to be a problem with no conversion being on the board. HSG is certainly going to be struggling getting momentum here in this best of one.
Have a look at this though from before. They're using the tools appropriately. First player jumping, pull the crosshair away. Poppins here with the Tech 9 in the back to just capitalize off of the distraction. Picks up the AWP and she's good to go. As we said, no nerves possible, no nerves to be seen here for Poppins. Her land jitters are long gone now after her previous visit. xiaowu with Hffo's there for half of those frags. Either way, they've got themselves into a much stronger position to smoke as well. The bomb's isolated. Goddess. This is going to be an awkward turn around the corner for her. They have mollies though. Going to smoke the bomb themselves. xiaowu trying to... Oh, perfect. Going to have erratic timing to invite them forward. Well, the bomb's been rescued, but it's a 2 versus 5 now for before. Not the result they were expecting. So just as we were giving them credit for the aggression and speed pace in that last round, HSG have done the same when they needed to.
I know, of course, the presence of where HSG were last seen. I'm not sure. Are they going to be ready even for a boosted up Hffo? The answer is no, and xiaowu immediately can trade. A perfect setup. Very deep into ramp, maintaining the map control as well. And this was a really solid round, having then the very forward positioning, aggression coming out, and on the back of that you get a free AKs to work with.
Yeah, it's volatile, this game of Counter-Strike at present. Second timeout being taken by before now. They've gone for the force buy again. You can see it's a similar buy, the Tech 9s, the Mac 10 now. Are they expecting mid to be that open again on this occasion? Surely HSG will adjust. I have to see, but this is a great opportunity for HSG to try and secure some rounds now. They've got 2 AKs on the 4 riflers on the CT side. Hazel with the AWP, of course. Very testing best of one for these squads, although, of course, we can see that before are in a much better position, at least in terms of the scoreline. They have to find a way to be successful here once again. Yungher will have the AK-47, so I imagine there'll be players swinging in front of her so she can clean up with that AK, just as Poppins did with the Tech 9. So you got her swinging there underneath B, but Argent is changing her approach as well. Timing grenade will barely connect. And we know that the worst is yet to come. But for whom?
Well, we have seen the Tech 9s actually deliver really well for before. Just a couple of rounds ago. They even have a lot of utility around them, so they could easily go for an execute and even use them to bait out other utility coming out of HSG. But right now they're actually holding on to the majority of it, just using a flash to take a bit of a peek into middle slowly. But everyone's still scattered a little bit. They have a player over towards the A ramp, over towards the B ramp, just holding off for any pushes. Well, then this mid free stack is gonna go and explore.
Hazel's holding mid from the back, and GFI was playing support hidden on the other side of connector to B. Just waiting to take a weird angle, and she can quickly rotate there as well. As they start to stream in, you can see GFI, awkward position for her. Argent's here to save the day though, bomb secured. They're lining up for GFI as well. Perfect hold. HSG have adjusted. A 3K for GFI again. You had the AWP, the rifle supported mid. They adjusted. She was ready to help Argent as well. So she's reading the patterns and trying to be ready for wherever B4 choose to go.
And even GFI was in a very rough spot for a second, being so close to 3 players overwhelming her. But then having Argent on the back of it, eventually, sure, she got traded right off the ramp, but then it was just enough time for GFI to swing around. So with that, HSG are certainly looking a lot more comfortable as of right now. Have some money stacked up, and now this round, a bare eco coming out of B4. The best they could do is try again to overwhelm a site. They are going full force here over towards the B-bomb side, but Argent and GFI, the powerhouse duo, maintain they do a really good job maintaining the site. And with this, they are creeping closer, 5 to 6.
Yeah, and they've got themselves some money finally. GFI with 11,000 after replenishing her grenades. This is the kind of situation they wanted to be in before our back on the buy once again, though. So the bedlam of the forced buys will subside for now, and we'll go back to a full buy situation where before they're trying to hold on to their lead. So we'll see what they have to offer. We've seen different paces towards the ramp, but nothing too fast in terms of personnel. Hazel swinging wildly, and yungher is ready for it. That was a huge swing from Hazel, a big gamble. Maybe expecting a smoke there, I don't know, but there isn't one. And it's going to be very costly for HSG. They lose Hffo as well. There will be a trade, but a 4 versus 3 before have got the time to sit on this and stretch out the defenses as we see Poppin creeping in mid.
And this mid has been abused a lot of times already. GFI certainly is aware. All right. Catches the timing there upon Poppin, so at least that lurk is out. That leaves the other remaining 3. Right there, stuck behind that smoke that is still in play. Now creeping around the corner, see if there's any sort of presence coming out of HSG, but they are playing relatively passive.
See xiaowu is just waiting for someone to appear. Argent's taken a forward angle towards the B bomb site, so there is some warning of this. Now that's a chunky grenade. yungher trying to survive on 14 HP in the meantime. Not much of a challenge on the side. It's retake territory. There's an incendiary for GFI. Not sure if she's in position to throw it. xiaowu needs to be careful about running out of ammo. Argent moving up the ramp now, and yungher is dropped. That's a lot of real estate suddenly. Nani in the clutch now. 1 versus 3. Like a double peeker. Looking towards short, taken down from the side. Argent again, she has been key. She has so many frags already. Moving to 15 now. 15 for 7, and the half is not even done yet.
And this is super interesting to see. Obviously, we haven't seen Vertigo coming out of HSG during Season 2 finals. But what I do remember is that Argent was perhaps somewhat quiet. She tends to be more in the support role. Whereas right now on that CT side in the anchoring position, she is doing one hell of a job. And I don't think I've seen Argent pop off like this at all before.
Fellow grip tape enjoyer. See the mouse buttons are laid out with the grip tape there. Makes a hell of a difference. Ooh, got to be careful. Argent through the woods. Julih has a chance now for another chaotic buy if before can plant the bomb here. That would be huge for them. Trying to press on with disadvantage, but the rotation is already here. Hazel's so blind though. GFI is down now. Shotgun mode maybe for Hazel as she looks for the planter. Got to push the right button for the grenade to come out that she's looking for. Goddess falling back to the side. They're into the smoke now. 3v3. There's a swing from xiaowu. But the grenade is what will find Julih. 3v2. They are well equipped for this retake. 2 rifles, the AWP. They've got more grenades as well, but you've got to pick the right time to throw them. Otherwise, Poppins will punish you. Down to Goddess now. 9 HP in a dream. Unable to get there. And it will be another round in the bag for HSG.
Still got real close. Perhaps too close for comfort coming out of HSG. Sure, they still have money, but knowing that they're able to deliver this amount of pressure time and time again with limited amount of weaponry is certainly a scary factor. It certainly was quite the risk for Argent to go in with such an aggressive type of peak, knowing you're up against most likely pistols. Perhaps we're thinking they were going to be going for a different type of play, but they did manage to come into clutch right there at the end. Now, the real test is again yet to come. And that,
wow.
It's wow.
So there was a molly thrown by before which clipped the wall and went backwards. And that should have stopped Hffo from taking that angle in the first place. But because the molly missed, she took the angle and got AWP'd instead. So it turned out even better for before.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good start from them for the second last round of the half. I saw in that last round someone was cycling through their grenades. Some players opt to have a button per grenade. Like the side buttons on the mouse, flash, smoke, T for Molotov, things like that. Can be useful in an urgent situation. If you do have individual binds to pull a grenade out, you can actually use those to buy them in the buy time as well. But enough about that. Before of cut noise for the most part, they are crab walking up the ramp to try and find another entry frag here on the A-bomb site.
Even dealing with a potential lurk, having yungher at least hold off that angle for now. But now, real test is about to come. Hazel at least will find the first. Will smoke off, try to delay, but right through it. Catches the timing up on Poppins as well, but still the test is here. There's a lot of presence, and Hazel perhaps single-handedly could do this. That's 3 for her. And now a 2-on-2, 20 seconds left. But a lot of smokes are against... Oh, they're going to be fading, and again Nani on 14 HP. She will get that bomb down, but not before... Oh my god. Well, yungher is just coming up top with the AWP. And with that, an even scoreline.
She had to deliver every single one of those frags. Otherwise, that bomb's not getting planted, or they're probably losing the round. That was so much work done just there. Hazel on the other side of the AWP as well, trying to slow things down, but yungher, look at the cover for the bomb planter. Really nice work by them. 2 AWPs now for HSG in the last round of the first half. This could be the difference maker here. Could catch before off guard. GFI with the second AWP. Got mid flashbangs being lined up for a 2-person swing, but Hazel's got a great angle to avoid the flash. Repositioning now. Angles have been lost on mid. Before disengaging from that mid position. They still don't know about GFI's AWP, excuse me. So as they creep around the map, if they run into that, they're really going to have some problems.
They had actually a setup with Argent going quite aggressive in the ramp early on. Didn't really spot anyone. So right now GFI is just left to hold that B side by herself, while the rest is yet to deal with this presence that has been noted right here over on A. So far, it's deemed a very difficult task. Again, the nades up on the side, but not being able to finish. And on the back of that, the AWP of yungher can continue to strike again.
2 HP. I think Hffo was trying to hold on in that molly just to throw that grenade in time for the double nade on default. But here they are now, 2 versus 3, Argent and GFI with the AWP trying to find the wall bangs. Not enough though. A narrow victory here before 8 rounds to the 7 of HSG, who mounted somewhat of a comeback after a cold start on Vertigo. Who takes it? Find out after the break.
I'm standing in the corner watching the punches fly as the tears keep rolling down my eyes. I keep on moving, holding my hands up high, fighting through the minutes, through my life. Your comments are mean, but I take it easy. You're talking is cheap, you don't seem to know me. Say what you wanna say, it's not gonna hurt. I'll make it anyway. I'm a fighter. I can be what I wanna be, and though I've been burnt, I'll make it anyway.
a very close game. That is what is happening here right now between HSG and B4. The desk already was talking about it, that, you know, this is a game that all of us have a very hard time predicting which way it is going to be budging. But right now, I mean, everything can still happen.
At some point, it felt like there was a risk of before running away with that first half. Not the case, though. HSG's turn to get the opening kill on the pistol, moving towards B. There's somebody at default, actually, which I haven't checked for. xiaowu's completely blind, but so is poppins, and down she goes. xiaowu getting there eventually, traded quickly, though, by Goddess, but still, advantage is Hffo, planting the bomb. As Goddess starts to reposition. There is a flash for her to deploy. Curious how yungher uses the HE grenade here. Could go around the corner next to the stairs, maybe, if she can find an angle. Or it could go there as good chunks onto Hazel. Starting to press forward now. Goddess has a kit, but now it's just down to yungher, and she'll be denied as well. HSG coming back with anger on the second half pistol.
A bit of a shame, because Goddess managed to blind two of her own teammates right there when they wanted to push. You know, instead of it being a helpful tool in this case, it came to bite them. And with that, a tied up scoreline. But B4 is not looking to stop. They are going to be going in 4-4s in the second round here of the second half, with a UMP, an MP9, and some upgraded pistols right around it. So they could still come in to contest. And we saw what happened over in the first half, because sometimes when they were on the lesser weapons, they still managed to come into clutch.
HSG keeping it real simple. Whole team together, trade fragging, keep the guns together, protect the weapons, execute onto the site, nice and simple. Full spray from GFI, good for 2. Bonus money with the MAC-10, and this is the scout we were talking about in the first series. When we saw all the rifles, the first half rather. Limits the risk there with the MAC-10 player moving around to find out the information. That works out very well indeed, putting B4 into eco territory. HSG looking like the first team to make it to 10. We'll make no assumptions though, because have a look at these HE grenades which are coming out in the hands of B4. Where are you gonna throw these? Mid, maybe? Where do you reckon? B?
Yeah, this is well, okay, well, B it looks to be. At least with the majority of the players that are stacking up here, but they are still holding on to them, just waiting. And actually, you had a player early scouting, no presence, right the other way. So they might be able to still catch a timing if they make it on time here on that A site. And looking to already have them
They could
prepared.
double. They could do an airstrike.
Oh!
They could do an airstrike with 2 grenades on the bomb plant site and then do it again. Oh, they're deploying them early though, but they've still got 3 more. Okay, those are the beeps, yep. In they go, but somehow everyone's alive for HSG. Well then, these USPs are going to start peppering now. The P shooters will take 1 down. And again, it'll be important to protect this weapon. That'll be GFI's job to some degree. She is inviting them all over for tea. Only one will be poisoned though. Poppins and Nani remain. Nani's collected that Galil. See if Nani's able to... No, not able to save it. Not too much lost there for HSG. Dealt with it well. Avoided enough of those grenades. And now B4 can head towards their first buy.
And nothing too much for HSG to worry about, considering that was more or less a bonus round. And now, 2 of the weapons they had to... or they were taken away. They upgraded into AKs instead. Now on the flip side, no ARP yet that they can't simply afford as of right now, but they at least have all rifles and plenty of utility to deal with any sort of pushes that are to come. And instantly, look at this. Look how fast forward HSG is already here on the A ramp. They grab a kill, and right now, just delay it a little bit more. Have some presence still noticed there with the utility that they throw, but they are backing off.
Maybe expecting a rotation. We can see that Julih is alone on the B-bomb site at present, but they've got time to go back and forth before, because it's a long rotation for HSG. As we can see, Nani is positioning. Have they sent someone down the ramp already? I think they have. I think Goddess has got the info, so there's a full rotation from the remainder of the squad, but the trades will favor HSG. Poppins need to stay alive here. You can see her repositioning Falling back down to 2-on-3. She needs to buy time to play off of Goddess, who's coming in from the back, looking for the multi-frag, but GFI, the spatial awareness, that changes everything.
The gut feeling deep down your stomach. You definitely gave the signals at the right time there for GFI. And right now, it looks like B4, they're going to be struggling. They need to really hold on to that M4. Because right now, economy is going to be playing a large part here in the latter stages of this first best of one for these two teams. And they're looking to hunt. They have the money to go on the hunt. Poppins is aware. Here's the footstep. Oh, but a missed spray coming out of her. And with that, Hazel can easily pick up the frag.
GFI is always checking behind herself. We saw on the ramp when they were on the anti-force buy round. They went up the ramp and GFI hopped on the sandbags there, just every so often looking down the ramp, making sure there was no flank. She has an internal clock in her head. And it's great to see it pays off. She takes nothing for granted. And that helps secure an 11th round for HSG. That could have really gone the wrong way had she not been wondering if there was a flank coming. Again, why are we not being contested on the site? Though I'm sure there was someone just here, but they seem to have backed off. Is there a reason for that? Maybe someone's coming in from the back, turns around, perfect time, eliminates the threat. And just like that, it is back to Eco Town for B4 very quickly indeed. Look at that spread from HFFO. That's a beautiful 2K. And the grenades are out once again. Everybody on B4 has a high explosive. These rounds have come thick and fast on this second half. 4 rounds in a row for HSG. Likely to be 5. Before did the same. They got 4 rounds in a row. 5 from 6 in the first half. We'll see if HSG can do better. Barely time to adjust it for before, so if they lose the next buy round, I'd expect some kind of timeout. If not just to slow the momentum for HSG.
Oh, look at this. GFI single-handedly kept them at bay over towards that A-bomb site. Now, Molotov will delay a little bit of that bomb plant. But at the end of the day, all of HSG are still alive. There's so much utility to use here in Afterplant. There's even a chance for a re-smoke, flashes to get yourself into good positionings. And even GFI right there on the lurk could be coming in at the right moment, but it seems absolutely unnecessary. xiaowu with 3 kills here at cleanup duty. And with that, 12 rounds now up on the board for HSG. The gap slowly becoming bigger now to 4 rounds. And that means the pressure's on here for B4. They need a gun round up on the board right now.
AWP is out for Yungher. Indeed, this needs to be a turning point for B4. Otherwise, HSG may run away with this half. That grenade lacks promise, but maybe the incendiary can do the job. Going under the stairs. Everyone's avoiding it for now. Just a dry peek. I don't know if there was a... I don't think there was a flashbang at all from the CT side there. And everybody turned up to party. But Poppins and Nani are cutting the numbers down and giving themselves an advantage. Nani's got a very strong angle. Hazel with 4 HP, but Argent is here to save the day once again. More work for both squads to do. That 4 HP is enough for Hazel to take Poppins down. That's a big frag to collect. Look at the utility being thrown as well before being forced further and further away. Hazel still standing with 4 HP, still deploying, still delaying the return of before into this bomb site. Smoke soon to go. It's an important angle, but important duel for Argent to win. Goddess spotted, and they'll lose everything once again. HSG 3 rounds away from victory here on Vertigo.
In that particular round, it was the flashes that made all the difference. Nani was blind for a second, and Goddess also struggling to peek on the back of it. Sure, they had some initial kills. The Molotov right upon the side definitely made it a little bit more tricky, for example, for HSG to get the bomb down. But they know exactly what to do in an after-plant scenario. And right now, gap is becoming bigger and bigger. B4 are left with an eco to have everything to pull out up on when HSG is on 14. But it needs to come there and then. And that means that with the round, it is becoming more and more difficult for B4 to get back into the game.
yungher is flanking again, but guess who's waiting? It's GFI. And she can do this job and just move the pawns around elsewhere. Just stare at what's in front of her. Tune her brain into what her teammates are doing. Will there be a trade? Indeed there will be. The AK is protected. They can throw that off the side of the building if they deem it necessary. You can see Julih has a grenade at her feet. So she can go for a double nade, but she won't be throwing any nades in this round. HSG moved to 14 before. Need to find something. They need to find a round in this half right now.
And not just one. They need a couple in a row to really... I mean, first of all, get your own momentum, but also being able to shut down the economy of HSG. It is through the roof. They don't have to worry about a single thing, even if 1 or 2 rounds were to be going away the way of B4. So that means pressure certainly is there. Their last timeout being used here for the Brazilian squad. It needs to be on point. It needs to be perfect. Because otherwise you're going to be sent to the lower bracket.
You know what's better than the lower bracket? The upper bracket. All right then. Let's see what yungher can do with this AWP. I think she went towards short in the last round. Doesn't have the best spawn to have a peek on the ramp. Seems she'll be deploying the grenades for her teammates to make their way down. Goddess has to deliver. That's a big frag as well. Again, that's GFI. That's the one who always covers the back. Won't be able to do it this time, but what is the response elsewhere? yungher with a great flick. Little jiggle spots Hffo trying to stop that rotation. So patient with the shots there. And this is a great shutdown. Surely the trade is here. xiaowu with 17 HP is still very dangerous indeed. Just the 1 kill for HSG. Exactly the kind of round B4 needed. GFI as the first pick is always a big frag to find. Shutting down mid, as you saw, HSG saw the urgency, tried to speed things up, but were not able to make it to B.
Yeah, it's real tough, you know, trying to just walk out, hopefully try to cross in towards that B bomb site. But knowing that there's a yungher up on an op who perhaps could be the best AWPer out of all of Brazil, you certainly are going to be going up against quite a big force. So you need perhaps some utility or a smoke, for example, deep into middle to counter that position. And let's see if they're going to be changing things up. A bit of an early peek coming out of B4 in towards the ramp, but it goes traded. So on the back of that, HSG could be leaning a little bit more in towards a B-bomb site.
Not sure if they saw the bomb there. Could see Goddess is throwing some support grenades for the B-bomb site, or is it mid? No, it's for mid. But she's rotating as necessary. So yungher's lost her AWP angle with that flashbang. She looked to maybe take it back with a flash of her own. Now, this is pretty important. Azo's going to walk into it. Down to 11 HP. Going back to the well there. It's going to be a team kill, actually. 50 seconds left now as there are 2 players remaining for HSG. Maybe running out of steam, but they have enough people left to clutch.
GFI could be holding this angle there for a rotation, but doesn't quite help that now Argent has fallen. And on the back of that, that means a lost bomb. And not that much control. Some nades here, but how much can you really do? It's only 20 seconds left, and right from behind comes Nani, and with that, an additional round, and B4 will make it to double digits here as well.
On the catch-up, they are absolutely not done with this just yet. They're adjusting. HSG will have to throw something new at them. Ooh. That's awkward. Well, both snipers around the B bomb site fighting for position with the flashbangs. Before getting the better of that one. Looking for their 3rd round in a row now. xiaowu looking for the early entry. Goddess needs some help now. There'll be a smoke on their HGs. Look at that swing from Nani. She'll be denied. Goddess is out there, but surely she gets 2 out of that. There were so many HSG players swinging. Maybe they were flashed as well. Overperformance there from Goddess. She should never be getting two there, but she's definitely kept her team within this. She's delayed HSG. They may be able to fight for this bomb site.
Molotov up on the side will at least delay, even though the smokes are there for HSG to give them cover, but not before HFFO actually goes down right through them. So with that, a player advantage. And now, desperately trying to get that bomb down, but there is no smokes left. We have Argent in a bit of a troubled spot, but look at that, a double kill coming out of her. And now the experience is definitely shining through. Julih needs to really come into clutch right now. They were on a roll here, really coming back alive, but it's becoming really difficult. Two angles to deal with, and she simply can't do it. 15 now for HSG as they are on the brink of winning this best of one.
Argent once again making the boss moves, just swinging on the sniper. No care in the world, doing what needs to be done. So many impact frags, so many impact multi-frags from Argent, no pun intended. HSG find themselves on match point. There will be a buy from before the AWP is out once again. Yungher will be called upon, I'm sure, especially when you've got the MP9s out and the FAMAS limited util. A fast take of the B stairs, and it looks like HSG are in the race cars looking to find something here. They'll lose HFFO elsewhere, and that might raise the urgency towards B, as we have seen before from this team.
Look at this, before are looking to creep close. Have Poppins with an MP9, but gets spotted, and right on the back of that, a double kill coming through from xiaowu. There is a trade, and now the ARP of Yungher needs to come alive, but she's burning as well. This round might be crumbling, but there is still plenty of time left.
That is a massive frag. Blind in the Molotov. Had no idea where she was until it was too late. Goddess trying to buy some time, trying to have the presence of two people. Not going to be respected though, swinging around the corner. Down goes GFI. Upgrade is found. There's time on the clock for HSG. They don't have to focus on the bomb plant. They've got to find a frag here, surely, with no presence on short. Argent swinging into the hands of Nani. And now Hazel's in the clutch. Got the 1v1, knows where the last one is. This is to win the map here. Nani creeping. Hazel showing some shoulder, but Nani will keep them in the map for now.
Oh, it's so tense. B4 on the brink of being sent to that lower bracket. Obviously, you don't want to be in that position. So they are still in it, and they certainly can still play for overtime. But they took certainly a large chunk of hits, so that means their economy in the next round is going to be in quite a rough spot, and HSG can just go again. But these rounds are certainly just very, very contesting, coming down to the wire. And that means, you know, this game certainly is quite the close one.
xiaowu looking for those entries once again. No swing this time from before though. But Nani's got to be real careful about what she's doing. But xiaowu is just around the corner. We know when the urgency is high, xiaowu is so dangerous with an AK. 5 AKs on deck as well, but the flashes keep coming. This bomb site is surrounded by CT players. An off angle from HFFO trying to stay alive. Hazel will be lost in the meantime. And Argent's here again for those impact frags. Down to 6 HP though. Poppins lost to xiaowu. 3v4 retake for before.
Oh, there's off angle. It got predicted. She definitely dealt a good amount of damage. Two players of B4 are extremely low, but they have a player advantage. They tap the bomb, hoping to force out the HSG players, and now GFI, the IGL, here to prevent it from going the wrong way. They want to win this best of one so bad. It's 1 kill already, but now Yungher is up on the defuse. It might come to an end with a knife. Oh no, but they managed to get the defuse in. And with that, B4 are still in it.
Skin of their teeth. Got some bonus money at least, but I know she doesn't care about that. It's all about the victory. That one really down to the wire. Smoke paying off there. Changing the defuse angle though. was really what kept her alive, so that was super, super important. A huge fight on the A-bomb site. GFI just didn't know the angle. You can see she's frustrated with that. Nothing you can really do. Sometimes it'd be like that when the smokes are up, especially on Vertigo. When aren't there smokes up? Money's getting a bit dicey now for HSG, but they'll be able to buy. And before, losing so many players will give them problems as well. They might have to sacrifice an M4 for a FAMAS just to get some grenades up. Might be lacking in defuse kits as well, we'll see. 3 more chances to take this in normal time for HSG.
Had a short tech pause, but we're soon going to be kicking things off. And again, the stakes are going to be high. We have HSG. We're still able to come out with 3 AKs, 2 Galils. On the side of B4, there is money for that up again for yungher. But around it, a couple of FAMASs and an MP9. And perhaps also lacking utility on some of the players as well.
Looks like they're moving for a B split here. Julie's in a rough spot. Can't really duel from that range with the MP9. The SMG damage fall off is significant. As we can see, she'll be playing off of Poppins, who'll be the initial engager. They've lost Nani in mid now, and that split, that's the go command, that's the green light as they start to move through. Down goes the MP9, Molly's all over default. HFFO caught with a grenade in her hand, but this turns into a bait setup now. Poppins delivering, look at these frags flying in for the CTs. Just like that, everything falls apart there, playing off of the smoke grenades, and that's another round in the bag. No bomb plant means quite the shortage of money for HSG.
God, us picking up that frag up in middle was a very crucial one because of the on the back of that, the split didn't quite go the way of HSG. The timing was off, and the initial push that was already into play, it fell apart. So now it's becoming real scary. B4 definitely have everything in their hands right now to take it up to 14. But then it's only going to be a question if we're going to be going into overtime or not. Now, xiaowu falls to a nade. Ideally, you want to see if you can get that bomb down. That is the case. So with that, a bit of extra cash. And GFI now, single-handedly, she needs the ace. They are lining up. It certainly was a very close one. But at the end, B4, hang on and get that 14th round up on the board.
That bomb plant had to be the minimum target. GFI knows her angles. Made it expensive, that won't matter though. We're going all the rounds. Have a look at how they bunched up on this left side here. Such a tight angle she's holding. It's really hard for him to deal with her from that angle, but yungher over the top, able to trade the frag. Otherwise, that would have got real scary. yungher delivered a lot of important frags to keep her team in this one. Let's not forget how she was covering the bomb planter in the first half. Still with the clutch frags in the second, and we go down to the last round of normal time at the very least. Last round's plan was for this round for the most part for HSG, so we'll see what they bring into this one. They'll have full util, 5 AKs out. And before we'll have full util as well. AK in the hands of Julih. See what these guys will offer in this last round.
A couple of rounds ago, they went in 4-4s with all of them. But let's see, they have decided to split up a little bit, almost an opportunity at hand. But now, on the back of utility being thrown in, they just slow it down a little and then wait for how the response is going to be. There's at least a smoke right now up on the ramp, gives xiaowu an opportunity to at least peek to the left side, but I don't think anyone is going to be giving her a kill for free. And that means that HSG is forced to explore other options and go back into ramp as well.
Big early nade onto xiaowu and HFFO. Now, normally you've seen HSG going for a split of the B bomb site, but that time they were almost trying to bait a rotation through A. They've actually got before at the back of the B bomb site now. Going back and forth as presence has been shown elsewhere. Popping through the smoke though, Poppins with 2. This could be overtime secured. 4v2, there's a minute on the clock. Argent going for that bomb plant. GFI dealing with the flank from Goddess. Now they've got to frag out. Poppins looking for a third one as she loses yungher to her left-hand side in the red now. GFI and Argent holding things down. They've got a crossfire on the side. Argent dancing around the pillar. And now it's GFI 1-for-1. AK versus M4. GFI and Nani. Nani slowly edging forward. She has a defuse kit as well. What's she seen by GFI there? Round the corner, but no, it's overtime after all. Somehow, before have clawed it back for round 31.
Oh my, GFI, yeah, that must sting a little bit. You had it in your hands, but right now, we have to wait a little bit longer to see if HSG can still close it out. They had the upper hand here in that second half at such a steamroll after winning the pistol. But right now, each and every single time, the clutch moment, the mid to late rounds coming out of B4 are really, really solid. And they are giving everything they've got to now win this best of 1.
Well, this is quite the aggressive take off the ramp, going straight through all the utility, but falling to the Molotov. Trying to catch somebody off guard. They've been looking for these early frags around the ramp, and that's a hell of a way to do it. Pedal fully to the metal. But still, before, they're not showing. They haven't really been seen just yet.
Oh.
Hazel through the smoke now. That'll be a free one for Goddess. HSG, I think they just took a timeout. They might need another one after this.
But only 2. You've seen how close it could still get even when B4 was in the lead. They are lining up almost for GFI. So at least she can now finish that kill off. Poppins still is low. But at the end of the day, it is still a 3 against 1. And how all the utility has been used as well. Creeping in. Spots a player. Actually takes them out. Good bait. So she tries to separate all these individuals. And get yourself 1-for-1 duels. It's definitely becoming very tricky. And now with this crossfire setup, the upper almost caught out of position. But still, 15 seconds, a push if it needs to come right now. There's not that much time to work with, and eventually yungher quick on the up to grab that final kill. B4 with the first round here in overtime.
So aggressive from yungher. Thought she was playing a dangerous game there, but she's got the confidence to deliver that frag. Not allow GFI to get into the clutch. She has an idea of what she needs to do if she gets onto that bomb site. yungher will deny her from doing so. Very fast player. I think they were maybe trying to catch before with grenades in their hands, but they just couldn't get through that Molotov, losing their early player. And then before just retracted completely, just got out of there. And now you can see the increased confidence from before as Poppins starts to get more aggressive. She's going to send it through the smoke. She'll be in a sandwich. Almost catching a kill, though. Almost might not be enough, however.
And they're looking to go in aggressive right now, at least do some utility, clear out some positionings, and Hffo trying to come in from middle. But again, CT presence is there. Nani with 2 kills already here on that B-bomb site, and perhaps looking for more. Her last target is right in front of her. And with that, B4 just continue to strike, and relatively clean. The initial pushes might not go quite their way, but they are always in such a good spot to recover.
This increased tempo in overtime really hasn't worked out for HSG. The attempt at chaos and abuse of the numbers gamers seem to go in Before's favor, although they've got more aggressive themselves as well on the CT side. And HSG really can't afford to go into their CT half 0-3. So they'll take their third timeout of the game as they think about their approach for the last round of the first half of overtime here on Vertigo. 29 kills for Xiaowu. Might be the first over the 30 line. GFI behind her on 28. yungher on 26. So many important frags from yungher. She might have more in this round as well. It would be huge if Before could go into the second half with 3 match points. This is their chance to do it, but xiaowu makes it to 30 in devastating fashion. Massive entry frag in mid.
Yeah, not just the fact that they got an opening, they got yungher out of the way as well. They managed to get a very important part here of the map, so from here on, they can pretty much go anywhere. With A being smoked though, they are looking to go in towards the B side, but not before Poppins again got 2 kills. Goddess now finds another. And sure, there are some trades, but certainly it is HSG in a rough spot. But now Hffo is coming a bit more alive, and a Molotov making it difficult, tagging up Nani, and GFI will find that last frag.
That was a flick and a half on that connector player, and so needed for HSG to get that one round, that one bit of breathing room. So important, so fast from Hffo. That was crazy, but can they build on that? They're 1 round behind now as they move to the CT side. Had somewhat of a cold start at the beginning of this game of Vertigo. We'll see if the same happens now. They're back on the CT side. We've got run boots around the building! Julih, no!
Oh, I hate to see it. I mean, that is, of course, one of the perks here coming out of Vertigo. And with Goddess now falling as well, this is a good start coming out of HSG. So far, sure, you had a freebie. But to deliver with instant pressure right after, that's got to sting a little bit for B4. So they are looking to adapt. Grouping up might be the key here. At least 2 players into middle. But right now, they are certainly lacking a bit of territory here on the map.
You can see that blue laser pointed from CT spawn. Now, if they go for the dry peek, it could even be 2 the way they're bunching up like this. Going for the crouch peeks as well. Oh, spots the bag. 1 minute on the clock now, but support is here from Hffo. Does not deliver. And maybe Before can thread the needle now as they make their way towards the A bomb site. xiaowu trying to delay. But the site's been secured. Utility being thrown over now. 40 seconds in this 2 versus 4. Even with 18 HP, I'm not doubting Poppins. Nani covering for now. HSG have to play it safely. They have to use the numbers together. Smoke to create some space. That rotation will certainly be heard. There's 1 smoke for Argent. There are 4 defuse kits for HSG.
The flashes, there's also still a smoke. Poppins, though, grabs the kill upon xiaowu. There's even more damage dealt. Argent being low, who knows what could happen? But they get 2 kills, 1 each. And with that, HSG are creeping up, 17-17. And now one of the 2 teams needs to win 2 rounds in a row, or else it's going to be double overtime.
Yeah. Before going for a risky play, losing their advantage with some misplaced parkour, if you will. Score is tied once again. First team to 19. We'll be taking it, or we head to another overtime. Smoke towards the ramp from HSG. Gifted a 5 versus 4 in the round prior. That will not be the case this time. yungher searching as well as Hazel. CT's rotating the sniper as well. We saw Hazel covering mid earlier on. This time it's xiaowu with AWP towards A. Nice counter grenaders before trying to fight for mid.
Oh, an additional nade will chip away a little bit of damage upon Poppins and Goddess. But it looks to be that they don't want to be stopped. Still looking to contest. GFI hears the noise, but right on the back of it, xiaowu will contest. First kill going the way of her. A little bit of troubled water there. Will fall back. Don't want to be losing your life right now and make things even up on the board for B4. But look at this. They are creeping in right upon that A site. A lot of control taken, but they also want to make sure that it's completely safe to plant that bomb.
Instant trade by yungher. Hazel hiding behind the smoke on short. 35 seconds, another 2 versus 4. This time it's Julih and yungher. Who plants the bomb? Who covers with AWP out? Well, they've thinned the numbers somewhat, but then so have HSG. Back to match point once again. Before on the back foot once more. Is this the round, or can Before fight back once again? GFI has got to be laser focused on this one, rallying the troops. If Before have anything to do with it though, that won't be enough. They're on a full buy as well. No shortages in this round.
Ooh, again, Argent. We've seen this over in the first half, that Argent went for an aggressive peek and a push into B ramp. And so far, oh no, Julih just swings and actually still gets that kill. I thought I was going to be going the way of Argent, but no, that push gone to waste. And with that, an opening here for B4.
She's been so reliable on that B bomb site, Argent, delivering all the frags, but on this occasion, when it really counts to secure the game, Julih just walking through a smoke and snapping her. Perhaps caught her off guard. Might have been looking at the radar. Who knows? Before have a lot of control now. Incendiaries on the site to delay. Burning that CT utility, but there's a fair amount left for HSG. They've got those HE grenades as well, those pesky grenades. So a lot of retake util. Going straight through the smoke. Where's the flash? I think she swung before it popped off.
Well, that means that there are certainly a good amount of chances right now for B4 up on the line to take it to double OT. xiaowu now taken out as well, and Hazel left to clutch. 1 versus 5. It seems like an almost impossible task, and it will deem to be. And with that, 18-18, James. I am still not sure which way this is going to be bunching.
I don't know what the breaking point was. Again, it was so important. HSG got that third round after losing the first two on their T side. They'll continue on the CT side for now, though. Both these teams are learning more and more as these rounds continue. The edges seem to be small. Money reset once again, of course. Now we've got two plays even deeper towards B for HSG. But what of the rest of the team? Hazel's back, sniping mid once again. So where will Before choose to show presence? Remember, on B4 CT side, they did a pop flash through that smoke, but there was already a T on both sides of it. And Poppins was lost. HSG making no such play thus far.
Oh, well, that's HFFO out. A xiaowu on the back will have to fall back. Now, Argent, again, they decided to go for a B push. Having her there sit a bit more passively, holding the smoke, and it paid off, so at least things are even up on the board again. 4 against 4. B4 need to rethink as to where they want to be going yet. They still have that bomb over towards the A ramp. And the rest are looking to chime in here as well. Good amount of damage already dealt, and through the smoke comes xiaowu. So with that initial good delay, more utility right upon the site, and with the second, it might become even more trickier to get that bomb down. It will now be done, but they've lost a player. Will make it even, but not before an instant trade comes through.
Argent rotating from the B bomb site. Only one on that side of the map. Poppins and Yungher in the clutch. No smokes, but there is an incendiary if Argent can find an angle for it. Clearing the sandbags. We can see Poppins swinging Yungher on the ramp. They know where they both are now. Down goes Argent. GFI has to clutch it again. 1 versus 2. 2 to find. That HE could be huge. Dodges the AWP. 2 for 1. Bargain basement deal. Has she got time to get the defuse though? The kits are too far away. Surely she's not going to have time to get it.
Oh, it's so painful. Oh man, that is rough. I'm not even sure why she didn't have a kit in that case.
Oh man, I think just trying to, just a bit of a gamble to keep money for all 3 rounds in case they started bad. But that it proved to be very, very costly indeed. Very costly. I think she probably could have bought one actually.
Yeah, there is
and had money, even now 3,400, oh I don't know.
I'm not sure, Argent right now doesn't have a kit, no head armor. There is money, perhaps, not too sure.
It depends on the loss bonus and so on, but
yeah.
That is a really rough situation for HSG, and if they lose off of the back of that, then That will be so frustrating. They've lost GFI in mid again, and look at before charging forward. They've got the numbers to continue trading. 2 versus 4 now as they continue to press on, running out of bullets, and that will allow Hazel to be alive. Well, she's going for a 360 there either way. So second round loss for HSG. Oh man, so many problems.
Well, we have seen this before. All the way in the first round of overtime. B4 won the first 2, and then HSG bounced back and actually managed to win 3 in a row. So we could be having a similar situation. GFI this time around up on the AWP. Perhaps it is a spawn-based thing. Is playing off on the back of B, in fact, together with Argent. Perhaps is feeling a little bit more confident. Hazel has been missing some shots here and there. Is still up on 23 frags, but at the end of the day, you know, GFI almost having 10 more.
It might be about playing positions and just offering something different as well. GFI did start in mid with the AWP there. Now looking over the top, nothing doing just yet. You can see xiaowu knows her angles. Yungher continues to creep around. Minute 10 as before cut noise. Boosting up towards B. This position is often wall-banged at a certain point. We'll see if Argent chooses to do that. Just looking for someone to pop their head in for now. That is a lot of grenades coming her way. She knows she's in trouble now. Has to deliver. Taking the fight straight to them. Getting closer to that smoke. The flashes will slow things down as well, but that smoke will soon be gone. She'll need some support flashes from her teammates. Swinging, looking for a second. She's got the info at the very least. Hazel falling back now. More grenades being deployed. 37 seconds on the clock for before to find the time to strike.
And as there was an opportunity at hand, you know, they got a trade eventually, but Deep Flash made it very difficult to continue. And with that, time is just ticking. It's only 20 seconds left right now. The utility will start to fly, so the commitment will come through. GFI at least good with 1. Poppins is out, but Goddess is back with 2, making it very difficult. But no, Hazel will come in with a double kill instead and keeps HSG in it.
There's that much needed round every half from HSG. They are really doing this the hard way. Before now, have the lead, have momentum going into the second half, and definitely will have a better psyche after some of the ways HSG have lost rounds here. Can they take it over the line though? They'll bring a second AWP into their first buy round on the CT side. If HSG learn this in the worst way, then that could be enough. Big exchange of grenades as before back off once again. And it seems it's been a priority for them to not lose a person early on this A ramp. All of HSG are here though. How fast will they go? The fast rounds in overtime haven't really worked out for them so far. Can this one be different?
Ooh. Bit of presence right from her back. She is feeling it. The Molotov tagging her down to, oh, no, just 5 HP. And with 2 extra kills right on top of it, could be deemed very difficult. Now Goddess will fall. She did grab another kill, but already the damage has been dealt. HSG are now up still 1 player. Well, not anymore. Yungher continues to strike. 34 frags already to her name. And she could save B4 here and grab that 21st round.
2 AWPs. If they don't get away from the site cleanly, then I don't see how they get back in. Argent, of course, they will peek into an AWP again and deliver a headshot again, as Argent does. Find some utility on the site. That changes everything. If they lost a player before that bomb was planted, then who knows what happens. Yungher's in the clutch now with the AWP looking over the top. Are the jiggles good enough? Yes, they are from GFI. Just in time to tie the score.
It's a repeat of just the first overtime. B4 gets 2. But eventually, HSG bounce right back. So with that, 20-20. And we're in a similar scenario where, who knows, triple OT could be on the line. But this is very, very important. HSG, this is sort of where they crumbled. They picked up another round and then fumbled the last, giving space to B4. And they need to prevent that from happening again. Already, bit of early presence. Notice Nani will have to fall back on the back of that and then leave Goddess to deal with the initial pressure. So delayed And so far, so good. But how much do they really want to be contesting? Hazel has already creeped up. And it means a peek will come through. Goddess again with 2. And this is definitely a bit of trouble now. HFFO does strike back. But the trades are on point here for B4.
I don't know if Nani has been seen here at all. That distraction from Goddess may mean they forget to check the sandbags properly. As you can see, Nani hiding, and poppins will be the bait this time if HSG continue to pursue. 2 versus 4. We know Argent and GFI both good for a multi-frag, but Nani's position may trump all of that if they don't check it. She has fired 5 bullets, but everything is telling me that they have no idea there is a person there. There is a trade immediately, and now GFI versus 3 coming in from a short position. I think they must realize that she got shot from the back now. 38 seconds to find 3. Trying to thin out the crowd, but yungher will deny her, and it's suddenly match point for B4.
Yeah, the first time now. Previously, it was HSG who had all the strings in hand, but now it's going the way of the Brazilians. But, of course, there is still a lifeline, and that lifeline is this round. It needs to happen, or else HSG is going to the lower bracket. Trying to go for a bit of a peek here, perhaps, again, early aggression. The nade certainly pulled them back a little bit, but if you're not going to be going out with flashes, this round is going to be crumbling real soon, even with a pistol in hand. And it's only Argent left with an AK and a dream. 1 versus 4. And this is one hell of a job. Simply seems too difficult. You can see the happiness right upon the faces of B4 screaming it out. And yes, you may, because this was one hell of a ride.
Highly stressful game for both squads, and you can see what it means to B4 to come out on top. They were up against so many match points. They brought it back in normal time, they brought it back in overtime, and they took it in overtime too as well. As a big game from them, and I think that one round about